Good morning, y'all. Grandma Rose here. Oh my goodness, we had rain yesterday. It was just wonderful. We needed it so badly. I don't know if you can still see any raindrops on the squash. Pumpkin. It's actually pumpkin. I'd actually been watching the bees on the pumpkin flowers. There's not a whole lot else going on out here. I've decided as much as I can decide, I suppose, that it's time for me to take the beans down. I had said I was going to leave them up as long as I could, but I put up 48 jars, 4 cases of pints of beans. And then the other day when I was cleaning up, I found 5 more jars left over from last year. So that gives me more than a jar every week for the next year. And I think that's plenty of beans. And this is what they're looking like. The last time I picked, it was like, I waited like 3 days. And I think I might have gotten a jar. I got just had a shirt full, and it wasn't even just enough to round out to get that last couple of jars in the canner. And I'm still getting every now and then, getting 1 or 2 like this. Just like that. Look at that one's on the other side. I should go ahead and pick that and go through here and use this trellis for something else. Right now, probably the squash would be a good thing to use it for. Look over here. If the dog doesn't eat it. Here we go. Move, baby dog. Where was that? Yeah, right here. That's a baby. Flower hadn't opened yet. But this is what the beans look like. It's time for them to come down. Looking bad. Let the squash have it. I say squash, it's pumpkin, basically winter squash. The pumpkins are just taking over the garden. All in here. I saw something. Where was it? Right in here. Way down in there. Can you see it? It's a little baby pumpkin. But I found some seeds that I had started. I had forgotten. And I planted right here. Right here. There's the, look, there was, you see it? Jalapeno. I'll stick that, let me go down right there. So 2 or 3, and I thought this is a good spot for them. Right here by my rose bush. And the rose is doing well, so I figured, okay, that probably would be a good spot for that too. We will see. If it's not a good spot, then it's not going to hurt anything anyway. So, because I planted that there, I needed to clear the area over here on this side because the dog was coming too close over here and I knew he was going to break that down. So I decided just to break off some of this right here. And so I did. I just knocked some of those off. And I probably could do some more. This one right here could go. And I could, while I'm doing that, I could just go ahead and harvest those leaves and dry it. It would make a good tea. And look at this. This is pretty amazing. I don't know, does anybody remember back earlier in the year when I planted morning glory seeds? I think I was showing some germination and showing scarification. That's what I was doing. I was showing how to scarify seeds and seeing if the scarified seeds germinated faster than the seeds that had not been scarified. So I did that with these morning glory seeds and planted these. And look at this. This is the heavenly blue morning glory. It's just coming up over here up by the fence. right there is the stem coming up. And let's come over here, all the way over to here on this side of the gate. And there's some stems coming up right there. I've completely covered this arch. Totally covered the arch. But not seeing a whole lot of flowers. I think I've got too much nitrogen over here. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've got too much nitrogen over here. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but covering this walk right there, see that? Cat box. I scooped the cat box. I mean, it's not poop, it's what I was using, and what I have been using is the wood. I've been using wood shavings. I've been using wood shavings like you get in a bale for the chicken coop, for the cat box, and they're fine with it. So I've scooped the poop like you do, and then I dumped out the wood shavings over here. Well, it's full of urine, and urine is nitrogen. So I did it away from my garden plants. This was just an experiment, and so this is making a mulch over here on this side. And eventually it'll decompose and become part of the garden soil. Well, you can't do that with regular cat litter. It's clay. You don't want to add clay to your garden. So I'm not doing this in case I've missed clumps. You know what the clumps are. In case I've missed clumps, I'm not putting this in my garden, but around the edge of the fence. I figure it's probably not a bad idea, since this is where the dog runs anyway. So I'm pretty sure that's why this is so lush without a whole lot of flowers, because it's loaded with nitrogen. And nitrogen make a lot of beautiful leaves, not a lot of flowers. Oh, I want to show you something. Look here. This little tendril right here, my hand, my tendril. Look right here, right there. You see what that is? That is the first little bit of a baby pumpkin. That's going to be a female flower right there. That's a female flower bud. And you can already see the swollen ovary. Look at that. Underneath it, it's going to turn into the pumpkin. Now that is cool. That is really cool. Anything on this one right here? Let's see. Oh, look here. On this one, look here. Right there at the tip. There's the tip right there. The leaves twisted. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. And there's a bud right there. Probably going to be a male. I don't see anything under it, because right here, this next one, it's a female. Isn't that something? Look at that. How beautiful. Here's another piece, another tendril coming up over here. See, there's my zinnias down in there. And let's see if we see any babies. I don't see. Right there. I can't tell what that's going to be. It's a bud. And there's a bud. So look here, in the axis of every single leaf is a bud. Go around in here and look. Down in here, look. There's the female. It's going to be a pumpkin. But you can see over here, let me show you where it's growing up the fence. The dog is making a path through here. right through there, where he runs to look at the chickens. There are enough pumpkins, I'm not worried about him knocking a few off. But if you look over there on the fence, you see the pumpkin growing up on the fence. Everywhere. Let me get closer. If I can get closer without stepping on these pumpkins, I don't want to... Well, look at that, see? Trying not to step on the stems. Okay, now we're closer. But at every single leaf, look at that, on that pumpkin, on the vine. First of all, you see the runners coming out. Those would be roots if that were attached to the ground. And right at the axis of the leaf, where the leaf joins the stem, on every single leaf is a flower bud. Let's get closer. Okay, there we go. Every single one is a flower bud. But these are all males. I wonder if there's any females in here too. See, each one of those is male. You know what? I'm seeing more than one bud. Find one right here, like this one right here. Look at this. My hand's right there. Okay, come down to here. There's that male bud right there. And if you look over on the other side of it, I don't want to break the leaf. There's more buds right there. Huh? Isn't that something? Learn something new every day. And I didn't know that. So maybe some of those will be female. You definitely would want the males to open first. Want the male flowers to open first because they need to have pollen. The bees, they need to have... Oops, I had a bee buzz up right next to me. Scared me for a second. No, you would want the male flowers to open first so the bees can get the pollen on the bees. They go in to get the nectar from the female flower, and then they pollinate those flowers because they've already visited the male flowers. So that makes sense. But oh my goodness, that is just so pretty. It's standing in the middle of the pumpkins. I don't know what the dog is finding. He's chewing on something. What you chewing on, Kai? It's not a pumpkin, thank goodness. It's something else. And again, right there at the tip of this tendril, there is the baby. And the bees. So it's starting to sprinkle. Little rain. Right in here. Look at that. I'll come back around. And we'll go back in the house. Kai, let's go in the house. Come on, let's go. You want to go in? Bye, y'all. See you next time.